Hello and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, it is a pretty sunny day, and today I decided to take a video again where you can see my face and where I tell you a bit about the projects that I've been working on during the past few months. Or you may already have noticed that I uploaded some beta videos, but also provided live streaming from a location that had beta activity and still has it. So that's clearly not in my backyard, and today I'm going to tell you a bit about what I'm doing here. I'm currently located on the property where the badges are active and from where I do the live streaming. However, I prefer not to disclose the precise location here, ever since we live in a society where unfortunately respecting the property of somebody else is not that valued anymore, and I do not want to get my stuff taken away or to see any damage to the property here. The property is held by an association, so I'm not the owner of the property, but I've been kindly granted the permission to be active on here, and at the same time I help them to maintain the property and also keep wildlife observation going here and plan how we can use the property to protect wildlife and also some endangered plants and flowers. So that's what I'm doing here, and it is a pretty large area with 3 ponds. Of which one has entirely fallen dry, however the ground is still very humid. The other one is overgrown by water plants, and the last one is still fully covered with water, which right now is covered by a special plant here, but we will get back to that later on. So I'm quite happy to be out here and to be able to come here. I do have a key to get onto the property, so I can go here whenever I like. And yeah, this is just to show you around a bit and just make you aware of the project. And I do have some tasks that I would like to complete later on, which I want to take you along for. So essentially it's looking if I can spot any underwater wildlife here, which will mean that I will use my remote controlled bait boat, which will be trawling a camera. And also I need to take a tour to the track cameras to swap the memory cards, and while doing so I can also show you the live streaming setup that I'm running here, which is entirely self-sufficient and not depending on remote power, as it's entirely powered through solar panels. And yeah, so that's the plan, and I hope you will enjoy it. Come along with me and take a good look at what I'm doing here. Thank you. Okay, up here you can see the first installations, or those are basically sleeping boxes for bats that can get into here, and 2 of them should be occupied right now. You can see it because there are a few left behind from bats on the ground here, so that's a good indicator of bats actually being active here. And I have used my bat audio recorder on this property, but we're gonna set it up later again, because when I was using it last time there were just a few too many crickets out here making a lot of noise. Yeah, and as you can tell, the position here of the bat boxes is not ideal. It was not me installing them there for my protection, but if you can see how they are covered in sunlight right now, they're getting quite hot. So that's something that may change in future, and yeah, possibly when I'm changing them over to another location, I might also install cameras in them so that we get some footage from the bats. The next spot is just right under the boxes that we set up for the bats, and it's a door. You might be saying, well, it's a door, that's nothing too fancy. Well, as you can see, we left the upper spot open here, and basically when we go inside here, you will see a bit of stuff standing around because we use it for storage. But also, if you look up here, you can see that there are nests, and those nests are used actually in summer. Right now they flew out, so they're not in here anymore, else they would be flying around my head quite angry. But right now they're not in here anymore, so I don't disturb them right now, which is a good thing. And we can just look into there. I can't see what I'm filming right now, but you might be able to tell. So this is another location where we let birds build their nests and stay out, which is pretty effective. We had about each nest occupied this summer, which is good. So this is pretty much all about the spot directly here at the entrance area. I will have to walk around a bit and I'll take you along, enjoy some b-roll footage, and yeah, I will change location because otherwise I would be filming against the sun and you wouldn't be able to see much, and like that I also get closer to the spot that is interesting in terms of wildlife cameras, track cameras, the uplink system for the live stream cameras, and also yeah, the better locations. So come along with me, and yeah, see you over there. Okay, so here you can see the body of water that actually got entirely overgrown by water plants. And this is a good area of protection for animal. Often we do have ducks in there, but as you can imagine, it's hard to survey what kind of wildlife we have in there, as you can't really get into. We do have nutria. I'm pretty sure that the badges go through here as well by times, and yeah, of course a lot of frogs. Yes, and that's one of my tasks, to try to find out about as many species that are living on our property here. And you can imagine, with a body of water that is overgrown like this, it's not quite easy to see right away what kind of animal you got. So they're using stuff like track cameras or video surveillance systems is crucial to get a good idea of what's going on. But this actually is a pretty good area which protects animals, as they cannot be seen by birds of prey from above, or they can flee into the plants, and there are some areas which still have standing water sometimes. Right now we had a few dry weeks, so it might not be as humid as sometimes, but yeah, that's what it looks like. We got a bit further, and here you can see the larger body of water, which still has a water surface. It looks pretty green right now, and that is not algae growing on there, so it doesn't stink or something. That is duckweeds, which has fully covered the water surface. Duckweeds are quite good to pull sulfur and phosphor out of the water, if there is any, and it also balances oxygen in the water. But at the same time, if you look at this coverage, it also means that no plants that are relying on photosynthesis could grow beyond there, because all light is taken away. So that's an issue. and we plan to address it and harvest some of the duckweed later in a few weeks. Just in the case that it is still actively pulling out stuff like sulfur or phosphor, to prevent it from getting back into the water whenever the plants decompose in winter, and at the same time we want to regulate the growth of the duckweed a bit in terms of giving other water plants a chance to grow. A while ago I used my remote controlled bait boat with a small zoner to get an idea of the depth of the water. So the body of water is about 60 centimeters deep. Right now it might just be 40-50 centimeters due to the dry weather that we had and our water level having gone down a bit. And I guess in this case it was good to have the duckweed on there, because if we had the sunlight hitting the water even more directly, I guess we would have lost quite a bit more water level. And as far as I'm concerned, this pond, or whatever you want to call it, already fell dry a few times, and likely that would have happened as well. There's no artificial water intake, so it's entirely fed through rainwater. And yeah, this little pond is giving me a bit of work to work out what we could actually do with it. And that's something that I'm thinking of. And yeah, not easy, but challenge accepted. And actually this is also the body of water where we're gonna get the camera into in a moment, and I'll see if we see something living underwater, which will be quite interesting. And this is just another view over the entirely overgrown pond body of water. You can see 2-meter high vegetation growing in it. That's quite cool, and if you look at that sandy surface over there, that's badger activity. We will get to it in a moment. I just wanted to show you this perspective on the pond. And here we are at the third location. This actually once was a pond as well. You see some vegetation growing up high there, but by the fact that it is mainly covered by tree branches, there's not as much light falling in, so the vegetation of the water plants is not growing that big. And this actually permits us, don't mind if it gets a bit shaky, to not have this covered as densely as the other area. And this also means that we do have small bodies of water that are still building up there. I'm just walking over to one. So we do have small bodies of water like this building. You can see small duckweed growing on it, but that's not an issue. And actually this is ideal for insects, but also smaller animals that need such wet spots in the area. And the entire ground is very humid, so this really is an ideal spot, and therefore we might just slightly touch this area to take profit out of the soil to grow some endangered plants, and have some in situ here, so that we help them survive and not get extinct. But in general, this is a cool spot and really a nice area for providing protection for animals, but also protecting endangered species. Okay, just walking back to show you that we actually do have badgers. We do have the first paw print, footprint, whatever you want to tailor it, to name it, of a badger. This is quite significant and 4 batches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cross. So this is the footprint here. I just gonna encircle it a bit so that you can see it a bit better. I already saw another one that I will show you later on. Okay, the last time that I counted, when we had a gang of batches on the live stream, it was 7 batches in total. It might be even more. But yeah, you need to be careful when working around on this property, because there are holes everywhere. And if you step into them, they can be up to 2 meters deep. I once stepped into one and I was really gone until my hip. It could easily break your hip or dislocate your hip or break your leg. Therefore it's advisable to let somebody know when you are drilling around at a location like that, and also use personal protection equipment in order to get help when you need help. Okay, this is one of the locations where we can see badger activity. There are a lot of footprints on the soil, so there was activity lately. Mainly looks like badger. We can look at one again. I mean, if you look at this, you can make out that's a badger footprint. So they are digging here quite a bit. We will see a few more locations, and that's their exit entrance hole. And basically they undertook the entire area here. So this is just one location, and when we are looking at the track cameras, we will see some more. Okay, considering track cameras, I currently plan to only show you how I handle one track camera, as it is pretty much the same for all track cameras. If I see something interesting on one of the other track cameras, then I will show you. However, the location we are heading for now is the location where live stream number 1 is coming from. If you watched the live streams where we had the activity with 7 batches, and if you look down here, you can see the trail of the batches that they have left. So we're gonna head down there. I'm gonna show you the swapping of the memory card, and also the live streaming technology that I'm using. Okay, here we are down at the location of the live stream camera, as well as one of the track cameras, which you can see here. And yeah, the live camera actually is a standard IP camera that I'm using here, which is connected by Wi-Fi to a router, which is running in a small little box, and the power is coming from the solar powered system. The track camera itself has solar power as well, so I don't need to change the batteries ever so often. And on here you can see the badger location. This is the entrance and exit hole, and you can see how they dug all that material out. And if you see a crow like that, that is typical for badger to be found. So this is one of the very active locations. I just gonna swap the memory card in the track camera quick, and then I gonna get out of here. Okay, memory card was swapped. In the field I'm using this little case, and as you can see 5 more to go, so I'll get to do it. Okay, time for a bit of technology. This is the main solar panel which is powering the entire system. As you can see, it's a bit muddy, and I do have badger traces on there, so I will have to clean that later on. Then the uplink is done through Starlink, which works really great out here on solar power. And here we do have the charge controller. All this will have to go into a small box sometime soon. a smaller solar panel and the battery which everything is running into. And then over here we do have the small box where all the technology resides in. So I do have the powering for Starlink in here, a small router, and also connectors for the cameras, which runs very well, and I'm quite happy with it right now. So I'm not going to open this up right now. If you want to see it, let me know in the comments, and then I may open it up at a later occasion. But yeah, that's the technology that I use here. This is old, but about 100 watts, 195 watts, and yeah, it's getting a bit cloudy now, and days are getting shorter, so the sun is not coming up as high anymore. I would usually have to place it all the way over there to get even more sunlight, but so far it's running okay, and I get about 4 hours of operation at night, which is far more than enough for watching the badges. Okay, on here we have another location with very much badger activity. This has really changed since I was here last. This stick that you see coming up there was a location where I had a track camera, and this track camera was having clear view on the hole that you can see over there. So they dug out all this material recently. There was flowers here. I should have footage of it, and actually this was the location of the track camera. But yeah, they are quite active here, and if we now go over here, you see another track camera of mine which is precisely looking at the location. So if this worked well, we should be able to make a bit of a time lapse of how this environment changed, which would be highly interesting. So that's something to keep in mind. I will swap the memory card here, but I also want to show you some more stuff. So here we do have a plant that I don't want on this property. This is invasive. It comes from Japan, but how it precisely came in, don't sue me for it. I don't know, but this is the invasive kind of it, and we do have a local species of it which has yellow flowers, but the season is almost over, so I don't see any right now, but I will have to pull it out of. Wait, I just saw one. So this is our local species, and basically this pops up, and you just saw it. That's how they spread, and this is the yellow flowered one, which is our local kind, which is okay, but those violet purple one, they are not wanted, so I will have to take that out to avoid it spreading too much. So there's quite a bit of it growing on the property behind, but that's not belonging to us, so I can't do anything about that. But over here I try to take some out. Okay guys, if we look at the plants that we find down here, this is a typical way how the badger is dragging them around. So they form a ball like this, and then they can just drag around the plant. This is nothing that has been collected by me. This was done by badgers. And sometimes they drag it inside of their tunnels to put it into the sleeping chambers, especially now with winter coming up. But sometimes they also remove material. So I don't know the story about this specific one, but yeah, I just wanted to show you this, and maybe through the magic of editing I'm gonna add a bit of a video where you can see how such a thing is being moved by the badges. Okay, up here you can see the second live stream camera, which is looking at this plateau location, which is essentially the same as the location over there where the badges are very active. This is the second location. Just wanted to show it to you, so you are a bit aware of what is going on. And the live stream camera of Livestream-One is over there, just on the other side. So this might all be connected. You get a good idea how the two flows compare. This is the one that is normal in this area, the yellow one, and over here we do have the violet one, which is invasive and should be removed, because otherwise it will be overgrowing the area too much. So I keep finding them, I keep removing them. I guess I gonna have to do that for a few more years. And here we are at the location of another track camera that I set up here on a stick. Why did I do so? If we look over here, we do see the fence that is protecting the area, and under there we have a hole. So this is where actually the badgers and foxes and everything that comes in can leave the property. So having a track camera here is pretty strategic. Also can monitor the wildlife that is on the property or uses this property just by the fact that they are coming through there. So that's why I do have a track camera here. Looks a bit crusty and I'm not sure if it still has battery, but we will find out in a moment, and if I need to swap the batteries I can do so tomorrow. Okay, here we got another badger location, also with fresh footprints, paw prints. I think we also have, well, that might be a small badger, not sure. I used to have a track camera here, which was just sitting here, to be precise, looking at that hole, but apparently some badgers were not too happy about it, because right now it's located down there. So I'm gonna have to pick that up, swap the memory card, and see if I can get it back up somewhere and set it up. Okay, now for the last part of this mission today, I announced that I wanted to check if I can see some wildlife underwater here below the duckweed. And in order to do so, I have my trusted bait boat with me and my monitoring system. So essentially what I got here is the camera attached through to the bait boat, and then I can see on the screen here what is going on underwater. That's the plan. So here you can see myself on the camera as it would be underwater, and I can actually activate infrared lighting if light conditions are not sufficient down there. This is just a screw that you can see, which I did not remove. I done both having it in my view. But yeah, that's the plan for now. So this is what it looks like. You might not see entirely much due to the reflection on it. The boat is over there, so I'm moving the camera quite well, and I do see the ground pretty crisp clear, but not super clear. Often silt is a bit of an issue, and if it gets too silty I can just use the propellers of the boat to get the vision a bit clearer. But right now we are looking down and the camera is hovering over the ground. But yeah, by my understanding it looks pretty dead there. Now we got a bit of a wind gust pushing the boat ever so slightly, which is good because it gives me a different idea of the ground. And yeah, the magic of editing of course will add in the videos that I'm taking right now for you to watch as well. Okay folks, you can tell by the light it's getting afternoon and starting to get slightly dark in a while. Not quite now, but in about 2.5 hours better activity start. So bait boat is back in. Look at the propellers. That's all the duckweed that got stuck in there. I'm gonna have to wash it off when I'm back at home. But also I want to show you something else. I found these in the water and apparently that's plastic. Not sure if it's a small tube. Don't worry, it's not a condom. But I rather think this was one of those things that kids can use to make ice in, which you put in the freezer. And yeah, maybe something like that. But this shows how long all plastic stays in our environment, because there was no foreign water intake or something like that for a very long time in this pond. I'd say for at least 20 years, if not more. So yeah, please do recycle. Do not toss your plastic somewhere in nature, because this could end in your food chain. So therefore, yeah, please protect our environment. I'm gonna conclude the video with it. I need to pack up, get back home, and then start editing. But I hope you enjoyed this little tour out here. And yeah, if you did so, please leave me a like, subscribe to my channel, and as a comment on this video if you have questions or just would like to tell me what you think about the video. Thank you so much.